Hello there. This is Tammy Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self, your intuitive healer, #1 best-selling author, Huffington Post contributor, and all-around American girl. So today, I'm coming on to talk to you about the weekly wisdom drop, and I wanted to share something that I thought was very popular in today's world. Everyone wants to write a book. So I wanted to talk about writing a book. So, in the process of me writing my #1 best-selling anthology, Unchain Me Mama, I was able to tap into the feelings that I had to describe the relationship that I had with my mother. And in writing that book, when I undertook the writing of the book, I really was not sure what I was going to say, how I was going to say it. A lot of things came into play in my mind concerning it, like, what was my mother going to think? Because she's still alive, and I'm sure that she was going to read it. There were so many things that went through my mind, like, could I actually bring up the feelings and the things that I thought about when I wrote that book? Could I actually um, bring back all the negative things that I had repressed so that I could be able to live in this world in writing the story? And the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's gotten to be a popular thing that people want to write and they want to tell their story. So I wanted to share just the process of the writing part of it. I'm not into the publishing part or anything like that, but the writing part of it. Now, a lot of people don't know, if you haven't written a story about yourself, how you have to go deep inside in order to get to what the truth of the story is and to be able to share it and convey it to the reader so that they understand what the story is about. So I'm encouraging people that it's an awesome process to write, and it actually got me bitten, and I'm actually going to write another book. But I'm encouraging people to consider, as they're writing, the process that you have to go through in your mind, and that's really what I'm dealing with, because I'm an intuitive healer and I deal with the mind processes, the belief processes. And for me, in writing this story, it was a process to get beyond the beliefs that I had, and also to rediscover and actually pull up the things that I have repressed, because there was so many things that went on in that relationship. And now the relationship is totally different. We have an amazing relationship at this point, but the story that I told wasn't that relationship. So, I had repressed a lot of things and shut a lot of things down in my mind. So, in order to be able to give that story justice, I had to dig all that stuff back up. And it was a process for me because I wasn't sure how to write it, how to even go and dig that stuff up, because I felt like in order for me to be able to heal through some of the things that I felt like I dealt with, I needed to push it down, repress it, bury it, kill it. So in actuality, I felt like I had to resurrect it. I had to bring that story back to life so that I could write it and be able to share it with the reader, and also in a way that they could understand and feel, what I went through in the book, and to be able to help people to open up their minds and actually see that maybe there are relationships that they need to heal from. And I believe that this book has inspired a lot of people to get closure and get clarity with the relationship that they have, not only with their mother, but other relationships that are primary with their father, with their sisters and brothers. There are primary relationships that are just a mess. So I feel like our book encouraged people um, to heal in those areas and with those relationships. However, I wanted to share how writing that story was not easy. So as you begin to undertake writing your story, because everybody has a story. We all have a story, regardless of, how we grew up, how we were, raised, what we did, what we've done in our life. We all have a story that can heal and encourage and inspire someone else. And I felt like when I undertook this writing that it wouldn't be as difficult as it was. But it was very difficult. And there were stages and phases that I had to go through in order to resurrect this story, um, so that I could share it in a way that people would be able to get healed from it. Because our goal when we wrote this book was healing and restoration. That somebody, through reading about our pain and our guilt and our shame and, all the different things that went on in our relationships, our primary relationships with our mothers, that people would be able to see themselves, because every story was different. My story was different from one of the other ladies, and one of the other ladies' story was different, and all our stories were different. So it was something I believe that everyone could relate to. And I believe that it'll spark changes in this world where people are looking to restore their relationships, their primary relationships. Or if, that person has transitioned, they can even release them and release themselves and heal for themselves. So anyway, this is your weekly wisdom drop, and it was regarding, if you want to write your story, consider the cost. Thank you so much. And this is Tammy Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self, your intuitive healer, #1 best-selling author, Huffington Post contributor, and all-around American girl. You can reach out to me on my Facebook page at www.facebook.com/unleashing your true self. You can join me in my group, Live Your Truth, on Facebook, and I'll leave all the details in the bottom of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really, really appreciate your time. Again, this is Tammy Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self, your intuitive healer. Bye now.